Tonight on Community Connections, we're going to talk about podcasts with DJ Messer. I've got with me today what will be, I think, a very different show. DJ Messer, are you the owner?
I'm the co-host, producer, director
of
the JerseyShorePodcast.com.
All right, now we're working off the assumption that most of the people in Long Branch who watch this show on a very traditional form of media, television,
right,
have no clue what a podcast is.
Well, I didn't know what a podcast was until I started doing one myself. It's basically a new form of entertainment. It's a digital newspaper. You can pretty much do audio or video. We choose to do audio. So we are an audio newspaper, entertainment guy. We take the good stuff out of the newspaper. There's no bad news in our podcast.
Okay. How does someone watch, read, or listen to you?
Well, you go to our website, thejerseyshorepodcast.com, and we're free. You just kind of click on our music player there, and you can hear every episode we've ever made. So we actually just finished our 57th episode this past week. It was published yesterday.
So, okay, if I want to listen to you, then I do it through my computer?
Or on iTunes. We're also free on iTunes, and we have a page on Facebook where people can search for us and hear all of our song parodies.
Facebook, I don't do. My daughter hasn't shown me how.
That's another new thing,
right.
Facebook.
Well, for someone my age, it's a new thing. For an 18-year-old girl, it's been around most of her life. Well, not quite.
Well, we're under the assumption that newspapers are on their way out, and podcasts are on their way in. So podcasts are basically going to replace a way for people to get their news. Like most people now go to websites to find their news. Like younger people, for instance, college kids, your daughter, their
never
age.
reads a newspaper.
Yeah, and 10 years from now, no one will have a newspaper. I mean, it's today is Earth Day,
right?
And I mean, how many trees are going to be left?
Well, most of those papers actually are recycled now, so that's where most of that's coming from. But it is a way that literally millions of people are getting information.
Right.
Now I have an iPod. I have an iPhone.
Okay.
I don't need those though to get your show, but I can download it to my iPhone.
You can search for the Jersey Shore Podcast on your iTunes and look for this logo.
Right.
And that's to show you that it's our show.
Okay. So basically, we'll start with the first thing. Anybody with a computer who goes online can listen to your show.
Right.
All right. What are they going to find there? What are they going to listen to?
They're going to listen to a very exciting, fast-changing show for a short attention span generation. We talk about music. We talk about movies. We have live bands play on the show, and they do acoustic songs right there for them.
So it's like a radio show.
Pretty much. It's like a variety show.
Okay. A variety show on radio.
Yes.
If I go online, can I watch you guys do it, or am I only going to hear it?
Well, I have uploaded some videos of some of the musical performances and some of our song parodies. Like Weird Al, we do song parodies of holidays or local events. Like the Dolphins in the Navasink River got a song. Asbury Park got its own song. Mother's Day got its own song.
Does Long Branch have a song yet?
No, we need to get one, though, for that.
We'll work on that.
Long Branch Hotspots. It's one of our hometown hotspots.
Okay.
We list the top places that we should go, that we think you should go to in Long Branch, Bradley Beach, Belmar. We've done a few towns. We still have a list of them to go as well. But
part of the idea is you want to promote events on the Jersey. Arts events, rock events, things I get the impression mostly appealing to a younger audience.
Not necessarily. We do a recurring feature, 2 recurring features every episode. One of them is the FSS, which is just an abbreviated version of Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
FSS, Friday, Saturday,
Sunday. The FSS is where to go every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Give me an example. If you did a show last night, what sort of things? We're doing this in April.
Well, there's we do play openings. The Revision Theater in the VFW in Asbury Park's doing The Kingdom, so that's opening. It opened last week actually, but we pushed it this week as well. There's local bands playing, such as the Predator Dub Assassins are at McCann's in Lake Como. Bar A is having a spring bash on Saturday. It's the 29th annual.
Okay.
And, we also do parades, fireworks, charity events. There's a food tasting coming up at the Old Mill for the New Jersey Food Bank, which we're promoting the next couple weeks.
Are people starting to search you out as a way to get information out to the public?
We have consistently grown every week since we started doing it a year and a month ago.
But like you mentioned, the food tasting. That's a charity event normally.
Right.
They want to get people to come and buy tickets and sample the food from various restaurants. Are they calling you up and saying, we want you to come, or we want you to cover us, or you just know about it?
That's exactly how I found out about the food bank. They contacted me and asked me to talk about it on the show.
Okay. So people are paying attention. Do you have a way of measuring how many people listen to you on a weekly basis?
Yes, we have Google Analytics is hooked up to this site, which is like a kind of statistical site that anyone can get and hook up to any site. So we do that, and I can measure. I've had over 40,000 hits in a month. I have over 1,500 subscribers, which people who get it sent to them every month. They don't have to go to the site. It's like a virtual bookmark.
What do you do? You email me the link, in effect?
I don't have to do anything. You sign up you hit subscribe on the website. It's another feature on our website, and it comes to you. So if you're on iTunes, you subscribe as well. You can also subscribe on the site.
Okay.
And then it just comes to you automatically.
Where'd the idea come from for this? I mean, let me before we even get to that, what's your background?
My background, I'm an entertainment junkie. I've been in bands. I majored in journalism and English.
Where?
Brookdale, local community college.
You're a local guy.
Yeah,
you're a Jersey Shore
Grew
guy.
up right here in West Long Branch. Lived in this area my whole life. Also spent a lot of time in Florida as well, but I'm mostly a Jersey boy. And just something we wanted to do. I'm constantly looking at movie box offices, CD releases. I always searching for new music. So it's just something that kind of incorporates all those things into one. And restaurants as well, local restaurants and shops. Go out to eat a lot. Like to know where good things are. I was in the restaurant business a lot in my work career.
And so and podcasts are becoming a fairly common way.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I go on a mainstream website. I go on, for example, if I were to go on ESPN.
Right.
There's podcasts on ESPN. Download them, listen.
There is now. When we started a year ago, ESPN didn't have a podcast.
Okay.
So now they do. So we were ahead of the curve as far as starting last March was our first one.
How much equipment? Well, I know that you have a partner when you do that. He couldn't be here today. Who's that?
Dan Peterson is my co-host, and his brother Joe Peterson, who's been my best friend since the second grade, is our third guy, and he's also our music coordinator. And I have a webmaster, Randy Leday.
Does it take all four of you to put forth one show? Is it that much work?
The three of us do the show, me, Dan, and Joe, and Randy updates the website when needed.
How much equipment does it take to do a show? Do you have to be a computer junkie?
Well, when we started, we just had a laptop and a microphone plugged into it. And we recorded it right into GarageBand, edit it, and
the most basic Apple
simple
program.
Right. Now, a year later, we have 2 laptops, 6 microphones, a mixing board. We all have headphones, splitters. There's a lot more involved, but that was just acquired through the course of time, and some donations as well from friends of the podcast.
The listening audience, do you have? I mean, to me, it sounds like. Well, let me put it this way: you've got 40,000 in a month. Is it 10,000 people a week in the same 10,000, which strikes me as a pretty impressive number?
It all depends on the guest. See, that's a good thing too. Is every time I have a different guest on every week. So it may be a rock band like Pat Guadano, who we have on next week, or John Larashi, who was on a few weeks ago.
Well-known local bands.
Or it could be a local business, like we had on Paranormal Books and Curiosities. We had on Ferraro's Famous Pizzeria. And depending on the guest, they're going to go out and tell everyone they know that they were just on a show and to listen to it. So every week we grow just from the guests coming on and telling new people about it, let alone the people that they might tell. And we spread quickly through word of mouth.
One of the things you showed me, you do things not worth $10.
No, we do what's worth $10.
Okay.
The first episode was what's not worth 10, And then that was the only thing that we ever switched, was making it, we'd rather talk about positive things.
Okay.
So now we do What's Worth $10.
Give me an example. What's worth $10?
A book, The Celestine Prophecy. Fantastic book.
And you read it,
Oh yeah, I think everyone should read it. I live by that book.
What's it about?
It kind of means there's no coincidences in life and everything happens for a reason.
Okay.
So
that book was
that was pushed
the way you
a while ago, but I would re-push that one and re-promote it because that's worth mentioning repeatedly.
What else is worth $10?
Some movies, or a new CD like Death Cab for Cutie, Narrow Stairs was mentioned a few weeks ago. Movie releases such as The Wrestler was a great movie, filmed
Just
right
came
here.
out on DVD.
It did. See, if you were our guest this week, that's what you would say.
Okay.
The Wrestler just came out on DVD. It was filmed, scenes shot right on the boardwalk in Asbury Park.
And a song by Bruce Springsteen.
Slumdog Millionaire, fantastic movie.
I don't get to too many movies.
Oh, that's one you should check out.
Okay.
It's really good.
My daughter gets to go.
I was upset when I saw the Oscars and saw it winning all the awards. Then I saw it and I was like, whew, it's that good. It really is.
How do you find
Inspiring.
these bands now?
I get contacted by a lot of bands. At first, when we first started, I had to seek out the guests. Now I'm deciding who to have on every week because people are contacting me and asking to come on. So I have people on the back burner right now that want to come on the show, but I don't have a spot for them yet. I'm booked for the next 7 or 8 weeks.
Kind of the same problem I have here.
Yeah. So I have a guest page on the podcast where you can see all of my past guests and the upcoming future guests.
Now, one of the things that, and I don't know how many people who watch this even go online. I suspect most of them, because most people do.
Right, most people wake up and go right online, check their email.
Right.
And we have it ready. There's a new episode out every week, and it's there Wednesday morning when they wake up with their coffee.
But the beauty of it is you've got essentially unlimited storage online.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your shows, you never have to say, well, episodes 1 through 30 are about to be discontinued.
They're all there. Right. You can go back and listen to number 1 and see how we struggled to get through that first episode to now how great we are in episode 57.
How have you improved? I mean, you've got to see ways.
Dramatically.
Both as a host and from a professional quality of the production.
The addition of the mixing board increased the sound quality by 1,000%. And like my devoted listeners, my brother, friends, close friends have said, wow, it has really gone up. It sounds really professional now.
First show, who listened?
It's hard to say. We had about 58 listeners the first show.
You were able to measure it, so you know how many
Yeah,
you
I
had.
could tell, and I could see how many people hit each episode.
How many of them, your guess, of those 58, how many knew you, your co-host, or the other guy helped you put it on?
Probably 58. Right.
I was going to guess.
But now, like we also do a part of our show, the FSS is also in the Coaster, a local paper, where I write where to go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's a written portion of our show that happened just because the Coaster came on to interview us and loved it. And they said, would you please do a part of this in our paper every week? So now the FSS is in written form in the Coaster as well.
You were interviewed for the Coaster, or you interviewed the Coaster?
No, they interviewed us for
their
an article in the paper, right? We've been in a few publications, the Coaster, the Rag.
The Rag is from where?
The Rag's another local kind of more music-based paper.
Okay.
And it's Jersey Shore located. Free.
Free. This is also free. Nobody pays to listen to this.
No, this is a free weekly entertainment guide made by locals for the world. And we have listeners all over the world, not just the Jersey Shore. Most of our listeners are North Jersey, Long Island, New York City, and Philadelphia, which is what we were aiming for. People who come to this area and don't know where to go. They're going to go to the same places unless they hear about something new, like the Langosta Lounge or the Watermark in Asbury. I mean, places that weren't there the last time they visited.
Okay. Well, let's take a little break, and we'll be back for the second half.
Cool.
Do you do it?
the list of places you might find sexual predators, add this one. Last year, 1 in 5 children was sexually solicited online. To learn what you can do to protect your kids' online life, visit cybertipline.com. Help delete online predators.
We're back for the second half of Community Connections. I'm with DJ Messer from the Jersey Shore podcast. This is a pretty good logo.
Yeah, I like that logo.
Two guys, a red and a blue. Democrat, Republican, no.
No, nothing to do with that. Just kind of cool colors. And this was designed by a good friend of mine, Ross Illich, in the Czech Republic. He's a design professor at a university in Czech Republic there.
That's the first time the Czech Republic
has
been mentioned on
another
the show.
donation, and I thank Ross a lot if you're listening out there in Czech Republic. So that was something really nice.
There's got to be a way that when we're done and you get the DVD of this show, you can link it or somehow show it on your podcast.
Oh, I can definitely show a piece of it. I can put a clip of this on the podcast. Like I said, I have some of our song parodies are videoed, and they're in little YouTube videos.
Now, you told me your show is family friendly.
Oh, yes.
Anybody, I mean, I could watch it. I've got an 18-year-old. She can watch virtually anything.
Well, I have 2 nephews, 9 and 7, and I want to be able to show them the songs that I make up every week. I want them to hear them, and I don't want them to have to run out because we say a bad word every now and then. We never curse.
Right. So
Never
curse. I could watch this with my 11-year-old.
Definitely.
And she'd be amused by it.
She loved the Britney Spears song we did last week. We did a parody of Circus, Britney Spears song, and we changed that to Earth Day.
Okay.
So that was our latest parody.
Now, how do you do a parody? Do you like?
I rewrite the words to a popular song and make it for that week's holiday or event or whatever happens to pertain something in the news.
And then what do you do, like karaoke to the music?
Oh, no, never. We replay the music with my co-hosts are musically talented. They're fantastic. Joe Peterson is a bass player, guitar player. He does pretty much everything. He beatboxes with his mouth for drums. And Dan,
really?
Yeah, he does. And then like with the computer, you can alter that and make it into any sound you want. So Britney Spears sounds a little different, but it's pretty right on. It's very impressive how we do the podcast. It's really the hook that people keep coming back to hear.
They want to see what
we're going to
parody
next,
right?
So we've done a Mother's Day song. It was the Outcast, Hey Ya. We changed it to Hey Ma. Bruce Springsteen, Dancing in the Dark, became Great New Things in Asbury Park. The Flowbots, Handlebars, became the New Jersey Olympians. We did John Cougar Mellencamp, Small Town, where we talked about late night places to go after the bars closed, where we mentioned places like Junior's and Long Branch, Windmill, that kind of thing, or the Seaside Boardwalk, places to go after 2 o'clock, basically. And I sing on it, and my co-host sings as well, and then they do the music, and we recreate the song.
You used to sing in bands.
Oh, yeah, just kind of local stuff, but my co-hosts are far more musically talented. Dan was the lead singer for Makers of Fine Clocks. I just created my own bands because I was a poet, and I wrote a lot of poetry, so a friend of mine played guitar, and I just put my poems to his thing. We called ourselves the Helper Monkeys after a Simpsons episode where Homer gets a helper monkey.
Okay.
That's our inspiration for that. And Joe is also a jazz musician. He plays the upright bass.
So
and he's a music teacher.
You guys actually play the music.
We actually play the music. We recreate the song in our own way. It's not identical. Sometimes it's pretty right on, but sometimes it's a little different.
How long does the show last?
I like to keep it between 20 and 30 minutes.
How much preparation goes into doing a 20 to 30-minute show?
I write a script for it every week.
How long does that take you to do?
It varies. Sometimes, it's 2-3 hours. Sometimes it's 45 minutes, depending on, how it rolls. And the song it takes the longest to prepare.
Now, where do you do this from?
We do it out of our house in Bradley Beach, right about 2 blocks from the ocean.
And but the studio has a name.
Oh, we call it the Surf Shack. We started out in Belmar at our first studio, and we called that the Skybox. And then we moved to Bradley Beach, and that became the Surf Shack. We were going to call it the Skybox, but we decided that we told our listeners that we were moving, so they were ready for the move, so we had to move into a new place.
Do you ever, when you're doing this, do you ever think, is anybody listening? I mean, when you started, you had to wonder.
Well,
was anybody paying any attention? Like, you're sitting there talking into a microphone.
Well, like we started doing one podcast. We didn't know we were going to do another one. Then we
Right.
did 2, and we had more listeners. Then we did 3, and it almost doubled every time, to the point where we had thousands of listeners by May, and we started in March, and that was our first summer. And in the summer, it blew up. And then we figured once the summer was over, okay, we're probably going to slow down. We didn't slow down. We got bigger in September,
People,
October, November.
If they followed you in the summer and they went home to, say, Philadelphia,
And maybe
or
they
North
told
Jersey,
their neighbors.
and they can still follow you from wherever they are.
And we have listeners all over the country, all over the world.
What's the furthest? Have you ever figured out what the furthest one was?
China, Australia, United Arab Emirates, Sweden, Costa Rica, Venezuela, Germany, of course Czech Republic, because I have friends there, Poland, but also in America, Hawaii, California, Chicago. We're big in Chicago.
Does anybody, you work at Cravings in Allenhurst.
Right.
Anybody ever walk in and say, I know you?
Yes.
How often does that happen?
It doesn't happen as often as, because I'm
As
not.
you'd like.
Well, because it's not a video podcast,
Right.
so they don't necessarily see my face except for the parodies on the videos, on the YouTube videos on the site. But the voice is recognizable, and it's hard to get recognized for a voice. I mean,
Right.
that's something
And
very
you don't
difficult.
necessarily talk a whole lot at Cravings. It's
Right. It's
couple
more of
coffee
a
and
quick interaction,
Right.
but I do get recognized occasionally. Like when they hear my name, oh, you're the guy from the Jersey Shore podcast. Is that you? And I'm like, oh yeah, you know.
Have you made up T-shirts with this logo on it yet?
We're working on merchandise. We're gonna get some T-shirts, stickers, you know, everything kind of.
Oh, stickers are huge.
Yeah, we need stickers.
You need
Stickers are
stickers.
coming out real soon.
Right.
So, but this is a great logo, and I want this plastered everywhere. I think because the logo basically tells you where to go. It's got everything right on there.
It tells exactly where to go.
So I think once that's stuck to every mailbox in Long Branch, you know, you're good.
Well, we'll know who to look for if we see him. Where do you see this going?
I'd like it to be a full-time thing where we are in like a studio like this, and it becomes a video podcast or a variety show. Maybe it doesn't become a podcast anymore. It becomes the Jersey Shore Podcast show. I don't know if we change the name per se, but I'm open to that if we got that big.
Do you sell? I mean, right now I get the impression more than anything it's a labor of love.
Right. No, but we are looking for advertisers. We have a few advertisers right now. The Coaster, Ferraro's Famous Pizzeria, The Rag, 3 or 4 of those, and the New Jersey Food Bank just recently is a sponsor of ours. But we
These are
definitely
guys where you've basically traded services with more than
yes,
anything
but we're
else.
looking for someone to give us a little bit of money for them to advertise on our website and have a link to their website. I mean, we get a lot of hits, and it would be beneficial to everyone because we would talk about their place. I only really talk about things I believe in. I don't push the chain restaurants. I push the mom and pop shops like Freddy's Pizzeria in Long Branch. You know, I'm not telling you to go to Pizza Hut, you
Right.
know, or stuff like that. I'd rather talk about the mom and pop shops.
Places you've actually gone to.
Where
books
I
you've
like to go.
actually
Richard's
read.
Deli is one of my favorite places too. You know, I go to Frank's on Main Street in Asbury. Places where I go and I leave cards and you can see where I've been pretty much.
And how, I mean, you go into a restaurant, you leave a card, you tell somebody, I'm going to give you a plug on the show. How do they respond?
Oh, they're very grateful. Yeah.
Do you think most of them, I mean, the 3 restaurants you've named, Freddy's, Richard's, Frank's,
Right.
all of them there are like 30 years.
Right.
Do the guys, when you tell them that, do they look at you and go, podcast, what's that? Or do they know and they've heard of you? Or you got to work it a little bit?
Well, they might not say it to my face, but maybe when they leave, they're like, I'm not sure where the podcast is. But Frank's Deli, I grew up right next door to the owners. So, you know, I talked about it a little more extensively with them. And Ferraro's Famous came on as a guest and they cater every episode, actually, that I need them to. They will send me free food for any time I ask for, you know, if I have you on and a few other people, I say I need food for 6 people, and I have a spread. And it comes on, and we eat before the podcast. And we do food tasting and talk about the food. I have another chef, Chef Eddie Ed, who was on Extreme Home Makeover. He got Hulk Hogan to listen to the episodes.
Really?
So I have Hulk Hogan as a listener.
Not bad.
Because he was on American Gladiators. He was the chef on American Gladiators. And he brings over gourmet pies whenever I ask.
Not a bad deal.
Yeah. So, you know, we have a few perks.
The actual show, you do it, I mean, we do this show, it's a 25-minute show.
Right.
We're a few minutes of prep, sometimes 10, 15 minutes. We might have a technical difficulty. We do a half-hour show, generally I'd say about 45 minutes. How long does it take you to do one?
Well, the music performances we record first, and then we plug them in when we edit. So we'll have the band come in, they'll set up, they'll play 4 or 5 songs. We'll use 2 of them usually. And that takes about an hour, all said and done. And then we'll have the other 2 for a future episode when we may not have a musical guest. And we'll say, they're on again. You know, here's another song from B-Side Alliance. And they're not necessarily in the studio, but we have a live, unheard recording that we can plug in. And then the show itself takes about 20, 25 minutes, just like this. You know, it's very quick. Flies by like that.
Can you make it last as long as you want?
Yes.
You've just chosen.
I decided to keep it that short because I kind of go with the Adult Swim. It's a Cartoon Network thing where it's always constantly changing. And during our show, we change subjects, you know, 6 times. So while we're talking,
about 4 or 5 minutes tops.
Yeah. So something happens, we're talking, we have famous music looping in the background. And then when the song changes, we change subjects to something else. So say when we do an interview, we call it rapid interrogation, where me and Dan interrogate the guest, you know, nicely, and we get to know a little bit more about them.
Right.
And then after that, maybe we go into what's worth $10. And then after that, we go into hometown hotspots or annoying places, annoying phrases. And then we're into the FSS is always the last thing. And then I do a little thing, an outro, introduce a song by our guest, and it's all over.
So it doesn't take too long to do it.
It flies by.
When do you do it? What night of the week?
We record every Monday, edit it on Tuesday, and it's published every Wednesday, usually late Tuesday night, but I guarantee it's there Wednesday when you wake up for your coffee.
So if somebody wants to, Wednesday morning is the new episode.
Wednesday morning, every new episode is published, and to let you know what's going on that upcoming weekend. So you listen Wednesday, and you know everything that's happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursday, sometimes that next Monday as well.
If something cool is happening.
If it's pertinent, right.
You have
Memorial
the
Day, I'm
ability.
going to talk about Monday, of course, you know?
You know, you said when you did the first one, you had no idea there was going to be 2, let alone a year.
The first one was just kind of, we threw it out there, we gave it a shot.
You thought it'd be fun to do more than anything
Yeah,
else,
we gave it a shot, and then, you know,
Who
we
was
did
the
one the
first
next.
guest?
We didn't have a guest the first one, it was just me and Dan. And we talked, and the second week we had Joe come in, his brother, my best friend, who's also my roommate, and me and him live at the Surf Shack. So.
Do you surf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to. That's why we named it the Surf Shack, because there's about 15 surfboards underneath us in the garage. So that's why we.
Do you do surf reports or
we
not
have.
quite?
Well, we did a whole surfing episode. We don't do a surf report every week, but we did you know, local surf spots to check out, and we gave away a lot of the good breaks in the area. So that's a good one.
Including ones in Long Branch. I mean,
course.
because you guys are kind of territorial about your surfing spots. Typically.
Yeah, every surfer is. A few we left out. A few we were non-specific about. But we did give away a lot of the good ones.
All right, we have a minute left. So my question to you is: has been coming on this show? Has it been worth $10 to you?
Oh, definitely.
Old-fashioned form of media, television.
Not that old. Not like newspapers.
All right. So your prediction is newspapers aren't going to survive TV. Will
well, I look at the
podcasts will
press.
rule.
I mean, it's gone up to 75 cents. It's about 6 pages thick. And people are getting upset with that. They're not going to continue to pay. When it goes up to $1 and it's 2 pages, I mean, are they going to get it? Or are they going to tune on to the JerseyShorePodcast.com?
Okay, well, we'll find out in the next couple of years. So, JerseyShorePodcast.com.
The.
You got to do it correctly.
You got to put that "the" in there, or
Okay.
you're not going to get there.
All right, well, thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you,
over.
Adam. Great.